Good morning, day 39. So today is a rest day. Okay, I did my 30 minutes of cardio. Just did them. Right now I'm gonna have me some breakfast. Okay, so initially I did not really have anything that I would like to talk about today, right? So I'm not sure how am I going to what to film for today's video. But then one of my online clients, right, did sort of mess up her diet, right? So we had a little discussion. So I figure, it's a good opportunity to share what we talk about, right? So I think the topic that we discussed was, the difference between eating healthy and actually achieving a transformation, your dream body, right? So although I think a lot of people have this misconception whereas like eating healthy is the right way to go about it. Of course, it's never bad to eat healthy, right? So I mean, if you were to look at my breakfast, right here I have 4 hash browns and then 3 chicken sausage patties, right? So when it comes to whether the food is healthy or not, sometimes it's really very subjective, right? I think more when we talk about health, right, there is 2 main components. Of course, it's your diet as well as like your body composition, right? So the first step I feel that most people should prioritize when it comes to being healthy is to get your body fat percentage into a healthy range, right? The analogy that I gave to my client was that think of your body as like a car engine, right? And then like your diet is your petrol or your gasoline, right? So if your body like your engine is in an unhealthy level, unhealthy body fat percent, no matter what kind of gasoline you put inside, it's still not going to be functioning well, right? So the key of really achieving a healthy and nice body, right, is to get your body fat to the healthy range first. Okay, in the midst of it, you would like to try to work into putting better gasoline in your body, right? Of course, the method I use is because there's always a lot of friction when it comes to being from a super unhealthy diet all the way to healthy and then clean, right? Because to some people this big change can be quite unsustainable, right? Therefore I feel the most important is always to fix the engine first, right? Try to get your body down no matter how unhealthy your diet is. That's why I have always preached the fact in terms of like flexible dieting, right? As long as you are in a caloric deficit, you hit your protein, you hit your macros, okay, ultimately you will get the body you want, okay? Even if it means that you have to eat unhealthy food in order to get there, just to make the whole journey sustainable, I rather you do so than to try to eat as healthy as possible and then you give up halfway, okay? Not even reaching to that healthy body fat percentage. So like if you were to look at my breakfast, right, I'm sure some of you guys may say this is unhealthy, some of you guys may say this is healthy, okay? It doesn't matter, okay? All this, the way I see it, is just numbers, macros, okay? So as long as at the end of the day, I'm hitting my macros to as close as possible, right? I am definitely getting my goals. So here's is sort of like a physique check, right? Okay, getting pretty decently lean, okay? Definitely I'm happy with it. Okay, so let's talk about the food, okay? Like, to be honest, in terms of healthy wise, okay, I don't think this is healthy, okay, but then it's far better than what you will get outside. So for the hash browns, okay, they are frozen hash brown patties, but I air fry them. I air fry them instead of frying them, right? So I think it saved me about like 180 calories for 4, right? Compared to, if you were to get this from McDonald's, right? So basically this is something similar to a McBreakfast, okay? Just without the carbs from the bread and stuff like, and the muffin, right? Hash browns air fry, you don't have that kind of oils and unhealthy oils that you will put in your body. And then this one is also just fried with some very low to 0 calorie butter spray. Okay, so this is a way of how I am able to eat the things that I enjoy to keep this journey sustainable, right? Remember, when it comes to fat loss and fitness journey, you want to be able to do it for long, right? Because even if let's say you are super healthy for 1 whole year straight, but it's unsustainable, then for the rest of your life you go back into your unhealthy habits. What's the point? So I rather, from time to time you have some of the unhealthy stuff, as long as you make the numbers and macros fit end of the day, and then you make your body to a healthy body fat percent. Okay, so the engine, if it's relatively healthy, sometimes you put subpar gasoline in there, it will still run properly. It's just not all the time. And naturally, when you are in a healthy body fat percentage, right, your body just naturally craves healthier foods. Okay, like apart from this, sometimes I do crave things like sweet potatoes and stuff as well, right? So so just to share with you more context, right? So basically my client had what did she have that made her screw up on the diet. Okay, don't get me wrong, the thing that she ate was quite healthy. It's just that in terms of like what we want to achieve in terms of like the body composition and stuff, it may not be too ideal. Okay, so basically she had a poke bowl with quinoa, avocado, feta, carrot, entame, cucumber, edamame, cashew nuts. Okay, so all these are very good healthy ingredients because they are single whole foods right? But then the thing is, they are very high in fats and very low in protein in terms of like the actual amount, right? So ultimately, what I told her is, the reason why she also struggled with hitting the protein, right? And she doesn't understand why she need to eat so much protein. But like I said, the most important thing about protein is actually to try to maintain as much muscle as possible. That way, you are able to, have a high metabolism because protein actually requires the most energy to burn, okay? And then by having adequate enough of protein, you are keeping as much muscle as possible. And just by having that muscle mass on you, you are able to burn as much calories. Okay, compared if you were to lower your protein, and then potentially she might need to diet on lesser calories lah. In terms of the healthy component from a metabolic standpoint, that may not be too healthy as well, right? So there's so many things and perspective to look for a holistic fitness, right? But I think end of the day, if you have a healthy body, okay, that is like 80% of being healthy already. Okay, then after that, the 20% is where you take it step by step, and then you see what are the habits that you can adjust sustainably for you, so that you can have it, from sort of like a long-term thing, right? Ultimately, eating healthy will usually help you, achieve a healthy body also, lor. Then not necessarily the case, right? Because like especially things like nuts, right? Because they are so caloric dense, it's easy to overeat on them, right? Especially when you are on a deficit and you are hungry. Okay, even though those are classified as healthy food, okay, like avocados, all these are high in fats that are conventionally healthy foods, right? Of course, the best diet to have is you hit your calories, your macros perfectly, as well as by incorporating good healthy foods in. Okay, that would be the best. Okay, but don't be afraid to eat some hash browns here and there as well, just to keep things sustainable. Okay, so that's it. Can you hear the crunch? So can you imagine eating this kind of food and still losing fat? There's no reason not to be able to do this for long. Okay, so I hope anyone out there, you don't be too caught up with eating healthy all the time. Of course, if you can and it's sustainable for you, go for it. But if it's a struggle for you to keep it up, okay, you don't have to necessarily eat healthy all the time to achieve a healthy body. Okay? So I'm mumbling already. So that's it for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that your calories and your macros is what matter the most when it comes to fat loss, body transformation, and looking the best you can, right? So whether is it from unhealthy foods or super healthy food, it doesn't matter. Okay, so if let's say you are eating a super healthy diet, right, but then your calories and macros is not where it's supposed to be, you will still not achieve the results that you want, right? And then I think this is the trap that most people fall into, is that they have to eat healthy in order to achieve their goals, which is definitely not true, because this puts an unnecessary, unsustainable approach to their journey. Fitness itself is already very hard because you have to do it so consistently, right? Why make it harder if it's a very huge jump for you to from an unhealthy habit to a healthy habit? So try to make it as flexible as possible, okay? But try to adhere to the numbers, okay? Because the last thing I want is you think that you are eating super healthy and all, and which you are in fact, right? But then you are still not achieving the results that you want. So like I said, end of the day, focus on the numbers, okay? Once you get your body and engine to a healthy body fat percent, then you can go and think about how you want to structure, and refine and optimize the remaining, 20%, okay, to really have a nice and healthy lifestyle. But then, don't be afraid to eat hash browns from time to time. See you guys tomorrow, for real.